I grew up in Norwich, England. I grew up with a family called the Beavises, but most wrestling fans know us as the Knights.
It's a warm welcome to the WAW Performance Centre. It's our Saturday night Super Show!
Dad's the one who got us into wrestling in the first place. He was a bouncer back in the day. They used to call him Paddy the Bat. And he went to prison and did time and did all, he was just one of those lunatics. And then my Uncle Jimmy, he was like, you should try wrestling. And this was the 80s. He was like, sure.
I thought I'd give it a go. I've got nothing else to do. And then within 2 years, we were the tag team champions of UK. So that's how quick it all happened.
The king of hardcore rally, Ricky Knight, and the gentleman, Jimmy Ocean.
He met my mum at she was a chef at this holiday camps in England, which is like a glorified trailer park.
Within 6 weeks, he'd asked me to marry him, and I'd moved to Norwich. And that was 32 years ago. I was his manager, and I was Sweet Soraya.
WAW is World Association of Wrestling. My dad founded the company in 1994. They started, popping out babies, me and Zach, but there was also my brother Roy, my brother Asa, my sister Nikki from my dad's previous marriage that were all wrestlers. It's definitely a family business. So my first bump was technically as a fetus. I'm very proud of it. I've been in wrestling my entire life, even while inside my mother's womb.
I didn't find out I was pregnant with Soraya until I was 7 months pregnant. I got thrown out the ring into the crowd.
Not even just inside the ring, no, like 12 feet in the air onto someone to the ground.
And then I had her 8 months, and they tried from 7 until 8 to stop her coming because she wanted to come out. She was a lovely, lovely child. She was the baby of the family, and everybody doted on her.
She was always happy. She was a bit OCD at times. She's the sort of girl who didn't upset.
Very mischievous, would not take no off no one. Not me, not her dad. I remember getting called into a primary school, and they said to me, we think there's something wrong with your daughter. She doesn't mix with other kids. And she probably finds them stupid.
Having wrestling parents growing up was definitely very different in England. I mean, I would get bullied for that in school for a while until they realized that I could kick their ass.
Me and Soraya were very close growing up. We were like twins. She was my best friend when the rest of the family were on the road. Soraya was someone that was always there.
They were inseparable. They argued like cat and dog.
My mum and dad's house, the doors have still got stab marks in the doors where we used to chase each other around with knives.
These marks that you see are knife marks and scissor marks. This is where Zach, and this is a punch, where Zach was trying to kill Raya. Zach's story is fairly similar, probably bigger holes because Raya got the bigger knife.
Growing up was difficult. Mum and dad were right at the top of the tree in the UK scene. They were wrestling 28 days a month because if they didn't work, they wouldn't get paid.
I think Zach and Soraya had seen every town in Britain time they were 10 or 11, because me and Julia took them with us.
The entertainment business is a very tough business to grow up in, and that's what we are. We're entertainers. So they live the traveller lifestyle on the road. That's why we're classed as travellers, gypsies.
Growing up in a wrestling family, everyone assumed I wanted to be in wrestling, but wrestling actually terrified me because I grew up with it my whole life. It scared me. And seeing the injuries, I mean, my mom was blinded for 6 months because she got drop kicked in the eye. It terrified me.
If she gets another knock to the head, then she might lose sight forever. I don't want that.
I believe that because everything in our life was about professional wrestling, it actually took her the other way. She didn't care for it, she wasn't interested in it.
These books, this was the first project that we'd done it together, but this was all about Siberian Huskies because obviously Raya didn't want to be a wrestler. She wanted to be a vet.
That lasted until I was about 13. And then my dad was short on a girl one day.
We were short of a girl for a tag match one night, and Saraya was there, and I went up to her and done what she'd done to me when she wanted something out of me. You know, put my arm around her and told her how much I love her, and she's my princess, and we needed a girl to go on.
Her playground really was the wrestling ring, so even though she never got taught a move, she knew the moves because she didn't know anything else.
The youngest female wrestler in British wrestling today. Will you welcome Brittany?
She was terrified. She was just like, no, I can't do this. I don't want to be in front of the audience. You know, I'm only used to getting in the ring with Zach, and I've only ever worked with him and him throwing me around, and Dad just looked at me and went, well, we can sort that.
Will you welcome the Pink Lady?
So at 14, I was under a Pink Power Ranger outfit, wrestling my sister on her debut match just to make her feel comfortable.
And she was brilliant. The crowd started chanting her name. I think she was starstruck.
The adrenaline that you get from the 3 people that were in the crowd that night, they made me feel $1,000,000. And I absolutely loved it.
That's the thing that she fell in love with instantly. She come back and she was extremely overwhelmed. She was very excited, and she was just saying, like, this is what I was born to do.
See, there's a price you pay for being a wrestler.
This was not supposed to happen.